Coming up on the Big Ten Women's Sports Report, fueled by Gatorade. It's been 7 long years, but the Huskers are back on top in the Big Ten. We look back at their path to reaching the mountaintop. Plus, we talk postseason play in volleyball, soccer, and field hockey as the Big Ten goes national in search of glory. And with basketball in full swing, the Big Ten's ballers continue to raise their level of play and rewrite their record books. We know it's good as the show starts now.
Since 2016, the Nebraska Cornhuskers are the outright Big Ten champions.
It certainly has been a season to remember in Lincoln. Back in August, they played outdoors at Memorial Stadium in front of 92,003 fans, shattering the world record for a women's sporting event against Omaha. The Huskers finished the non-con slate without a loss for the first time since 2016, and just the second time since 2008. John Cook's young squad only dropped 3 sets in 9 matches to go 9-0. Once conference play started, it was no cakewalk. In fact, Nebraska had to go through 3 ranked opponents right out of the gate. After sweeping the Bucks and Gophers, the Huskers left West Lafayette with a 5-set road dub. That was building up to October 21st, when arch rival and number 1 Wisconsin came to town for a sold-out matchup between the top 2 teams in the nation. The Huskers won in dramatic fashion in 5 sets for their first win against the Badgers since 2017. In Happy Valley, they had to overcome the largest rec hall crowd in 20 years and rally from an early 0-2 hole. But Harper Murray and Merritt Beeson showed the will of a champion as they led the team to a comeback victory. Squarely in the driver's seat, the Huskers yet again made history. With the road sweep of Iowa, John Cook's squad claimed the Big Ten regular season title outright. It was the team's 35th all-time conference title. They would not finish undefeated, falling on the road to Wisconsin in straight sets. However, the hard work they put in the offseason, starting with a trip to Brazil, has made the team a postseason favorite to make it to Tampa.
Look at these amazing views.
This season, our team went on our international trip to Brazil. We traveled to 4 different cities. We got to sightsee, play lots of volleyball, get to see what the culture was like. We went to Belo Horizonte, Saquarema, Rio, and Buzios.
We just experienced all of Brazil, food, the beaches, the city. And I think it was my 6th or 7th international trip. It was by far the best trip we've ever gone on.
We were there for 16 days. We got to learn a lot about each other, and I think that's crucial just because we are a very new team.
How is that? We're about to go eat at this Brazilian steakhouse. Look how cool it looks.
The food we had was amazing. I tried squid and tongue, and there was some raw egg things, and we wanted to get the true experience.
My most memorable moment would definitely be when we played the Brazilian national team. We were on their military base. It was a great match. It went to 5, so it was a very high-level match. The volleyball part of it was fun, but just being in their environment was really, really cool.
If you watch the Brazilian team, they play volleyball with love and passion. You and I sub in for each other. I mean, we give a hug. They all give hugs and kisses before the games start. It's just a very passionate country with great rhythm, and volleyball is just a part of that.
We got to go to this club, and it was just kind of cool to see the sport environment in a different country, just how they grow up. And it was eye-opening. We should be grateful for everything we get in America.
At the very end of the trip, we went to this little fishing village called Buzios. You would go there on your honeymoon. You felt like you were in a movie, and we're in this old hotel that's like 50 years old, but you're kind of built into the hillside overlooking the bay. Every night, everybody who wanted to be a captain got up and spoke. We had about 6 players that did that. Very powerful exercise.
We voted that morning and then we left, so no one had any idea who was going to be captain. We didn't know when we were going to find out.
When we were flying back, the pilot actually came back to like row 40-something and was like, "Are you Merritt and Lexi?"
They thought they were in trouble because here comes the captain talking to them.
And he was like, "Well, I just wanted to congratulate you from captain to captain.
You guys will be your captains for this season.
Those are the special memories you get to have the opportunity to create on a foreign trip like that.
The trip as a whole just taught us kind of the identity that this team's going to have. Family is the best way that I would describe Nebraska volleyball, and I think the Brazil trip was a huge testament to that and really special.
On Sunday, the field for the 2023 NCAA volleyball tournament was announced, and for the 31st consecutive year, the Big Ten had 5 teams selected. Nebraska earned the top overall seed, and the Badgers get a top 4 seed for the 7th time in program history. Purdue was given a 3 seed, Penn State a 5 seed, and the Gophers get an at-large bid. The Huskers are making their 42nd consecutive tourney appearance and hosting the first round for the 38th time. This is the 2nd time since 2016 that the Huskers are the top overall seed and the 6th time overall. The Fieldhouse will be rocking once more for postseason play as the Badgers get the number 3 overall seed. Under Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin has made it to at least the Sweet 16 in each of the last 10 years. Purdue received a coveted 3 seed and will host the opening rounds for the 3rd time in the last 5 seasons. Dave Shondell's tough schedule paid off for the young Boilers, who went 6-3 against top 25 teams. With the 5 seed, Penn State keeps intact their record as the only team to compete in every single NCAA tournament since it began in 1981. The Nittany Lions enter on a hot streak, having won their last 6 regular season matches as they travel to Lawrence, Kansas. For the first time since 2009, Minnesota isn't hosting the opening rounds. However, that could be a good thing, because that year, the Gophers made it all the way to the Final Four. Still to come, the regular season may be over, but that doesn't mean we can't look back at the Badgers' dismantling of the Huskers in Madison, ending their bid for perfection. Plus, we go on the pitch as Nebraska and Penn State look to play on in the Elite 8. And on the hardwood, Caitlin Clark did it again. We see how the do-it-all Hawkeye continues to etch her name in the record books. The Big Ten Women's Sports Report is fueled by Gatorade. Gatorade, fuel tomorrow.
And Clark going one-on-one on the cross. Oh.
When you're Caitlin Clark, a little hand to the face, nothing.
Clark bullies her way in. Clark probing. Off one foot, it's Pierre. And scoops it in at the horn. Out for Clark. Mike. There's 100 for Iowa.
Caitlin had the tongue out on that one.
She is just buzzing around the floor with those 7 steals tonight.
Come on now. We are certainly entertained.
With another 30-piece against Drake, Caitlin Clark passed the great Kelsey Plum for most career 30-point games. It was the 39th time she had dropped 30 in her storied career, and there's plenty of time to add more. Down in Fort Myers, the Hoosiers beat the Tennessee Lady Vols for the 2nd consecutive season. Thanks to a career day on her birthday, Yarden Garzone dropped 23 on 5 of 6 shooting from deep. Over in East Lansing, the Spartans continue to make tremendous strides under first-year coach Robin Froley. Against Detroit Mercy, they broke the program record for field goal percentage, shooting an astounding 70.9%. In Happy Valley, Penn State's McKenna Marisa scored 34 against Kansas, tying her career high in the win. For Marisa, the game of basketball is ingrained in her DNA and something she hopes to use to teach the next generation.
Marisa, she's open for three. Splash! McKenna Marisa from Team.
My parents got my siblings and I involved with sports very early on. I always knew that my grandpa played basketball, so basketball always kind of ran in our family.
We have a long family lineage of people at Penn State. My mom went to Penn State. She actually played basketball at Barron for 2 years. My grandfather played for the 1954 team.
He actually sent in football tape to Penn State. And then when he got there, the basketball coaches saw that, and there was a bunch of guys trying out for the team, and they just loved his heart and his effort.
She definitely bleeds blue and white. Her grandfather was able to hang banners, and she wants to make sure that she leaves Penn State back on top.
It was important for her to continue my grandfather's legacy as well. That's why she wears number 20. So it's pretty cool how it came full circle. When he saw the potential she had, he really got excited and he wouldn't miss a game.
He always talks about there's the big man and there's the little man. And the little man is up here and the big man is the opponent. And he said, you want to beat the big man, but the most important person to beat is the little man. And that honestly carries over, not even just on the basketball court, but in life as well. Oh yeah, easy right here. Oh, my brother is a GA on the team right now. He's a grad assistant. He plays against us. He helps out. He's on the practice squad.
To have her brother back here for her 5th year on our coaching staff comes full circle for her family in the stands.
I always wanted to get into coaching and the right moment came up. He kind of came to me and said there might be this opportunity, so I was like, hey, I'm going to reach out to Keegs, and the rest is history.
It is a cool dynamic to see her and Kelson just talk it up on the court. And they do look alike, but on the court, it's strictly business, strictly professional, all basketball talk.
A moment just hit me the other day as I was on the sidelines and they both came whooshing by me, right? And she was guarding him. It's really cool to see. That's a very unique opportunity.
Always talking after games. There's a rough game, she needs to talk to someone about the game, about strategy, what she could do better, how she could have played differently.
So I want you, when you pick that up, I want you to engage quicker. Don't run away from me. Okay. Because you gotta cut my hip off.
We have gotten a lot closer. Him and I, when we were younger, actually never got along. As we got older, both of us just had that passion for basketball and sports, and we became really, really close.
D, you don't have to hype up all the other majors, just teaching.
I have 10 cousins on my dad's side, and I just loved working with little kids. I loved being around them. And I was like, I want to do something with kids. I want to teach, I want to impact young lives, because at that age, they're just sponges.
She's finding her calling. She's phenomenal with little kids. She always has been from the moment I met her.
Perfect. Okay, ready? Fist bump.
I get that the kids absolutely love her. I mean, I would love her if I was her student.
The two worlds definitely collide, teaching and being on the basketball court. Patience. Patience is super important, and it takes a lot of patience both in the classroom and on the basketball court. It's funny because Coach Keegs always goes, lock in. And I almost said that to my first graders the other day, and I was like, lock in. I was like, wait. I was like, I use that on the basketball court. But it's now coming into my classroom.
She's going to be one heck of a teacher someday, and whatever kids get to have Miss Marisa in their classroom are very lucky.
Saturday, December 9th, it's a Big Ten doubleheader on the hardwood. First at 2, Alexis Markowski and the Huskers go to East Lansing to take on Dee Dee Hageman and the Spartans. Then at 4, Mackenzie Holmes and the Hoosiers take on Kayleen Smeichel and the Scarlet Knights at Jersey Mike's Arena. Big Ten basketball on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Still to come, the Cats have made the NCAA title game in field hockey the last 3 years. Could another championship be headed back to Evanston? And on the ice, Ohio State has been sending a message to the rest of the nation that the road to the Frozen Four goes through Columbus.
McBean cuts to her right. McBean strike. She scores! Peyton Linehan all alone. Can she finish it off? Penn State moving on to the Sweet 16 for the 7th straight time.
And a goal to tie it. The Clemson Tiger women heading to the College Cup. Penn State season coming to a close at 16-3-4.
Penn State has been the standard in Big Ten soccer, as evidenced by their conference-leading 14th Elite Eight appearance. In a thriller, the Nittany Lions ultimately fell 2-1 to number 1 seeded Clemson. The Huskers also made the national quarterfinal, their first since 1999. Jordan Zaid set up Sarah Weber for the equalizer in the second half. However, in overtime, Stanford would find the back of the net, ending Nebraska's season.
Jay-Z is on the mic. He didn't talk to me. You're making me feel awkward. I'm ready to go. Feels pretty awesome, Gwen. You want to say hi? Hi, guys. Are we sprinting today?
No way. Are we actually?
Okay, good. I think I'd pull a hamstring, I'm not gonna lie.
Jordan.
Abby, wait, chocolate cake.
They call me Donut.
They call me Donut? They call you chocolate cake.
Hayden, it's not gonna work.
Woohoo!
Backward skip!
When you know the words of this song, sing along. I've been singing, so hopefully that's good. Front foot. Back foot. So just a disclaimer, if I'm breathing heavy, this drill's hard. Hi Flo, I heard you speaking French earlier.
Bonjour, ça va bien?
Oh, that's awkward. Hayden. Are you still not talking to me?
Jordan.
Oh, thanks, you responded.
Riding a 20-game unbeaten streak, Northwestern extended it to 21 with a national semifinal win in Chapel Hill. In patented Cardiac Cats fashion, NU used a dramatic fourth-quarter goal to down Duke 2-1. In the title game for the third consecutive year in a row, the Cats took on number 1 North Carolina. Peyton Halsey tied it in the third, and the game would go to overtime and then a shootout. That's sadly where the season ended in penalty strokes. After the break, we head back to Madison to look back at Wisconsin's revenge win against the top-ranked Huskers at home. The Big Ten Women's Sports Report is fueled by Gatorade. Gatorade, fuel tomorrow. The Ohio State Buckeyes have been on a mission this season. First, they welcomed the defending national champs and number 1 ranked Badgers to town and swept them. It was the third straight sweep of Wisconsin in Columbus. Then they lit the lamp 11 times against St. Lawrence last Friday, which was a new program record for a single game. McKenna Webster and Kelsey King both had multiple goals as the Bucks tallied 41 shots on net. With that dominant last couple of showings, the Buckeyes are firmly entrenched as the number 1 team in the country according to the latest USCHO rankings. The defending national champions Wisconsin and perennial power Minnesota join the Buckeyes in the top 3. They were the undisputed number 1 team in the country, hadn't lost a match all season, and already had won the previous meeting this season. None of that mattered to Kelly Sheffield's crew as they dismantled the top-ranked Huskers at home in front of one of the nation's most intimidating crowds at the Fieldhouse.
From the historic UW Fieldhouse, it's the rematch in Madison. 5th ranked and 24-3 Wisconsin playing host to number 1 and 27-0 Nebraska. A win over top-ranked Nebraska could be the difference in hosting the first 2 weekends of the NCAA tournament. It's a Black Friday match, top 5 match, Wisconsin and Nebraska. Franklin finds Aspern, middle attack to Booth, got it off Rodriguez. There's Carter Booth. Saved by Ojo, bumps it back to Franklin, who flies in and slams it to the back row and in. Wisconsin trying to close the door on the first set. They're up by 2 late. Set over to the left side. Here's Franklin pounding one cross court for the set winner. And that ends it in set number 1. Murray into that lucky block, and it's rejected. Block Friday here at the Fieldhouse. It's match point in Madison in the 3rd. It's a left serve by Nebraska, handled by Ojo. Perfect pass. Right side here, Smrek. She got it off Murray. That's a statement win for Wisconsin. Nebraska's perfect season is over, and the Badgers just secured a huge Black Friday win.
Well, that didn't take long. After a few short weeks into their first season as a Division I program, the Iowa Hawkeyes are ranked number 1 in the nation. Coach Chun's team is riding a 4-match win streak, and her roster is filled with highly ranked wrestlers. Be sure to follow us on our social media channels as we keep you updated on everything happening from the mat, track, rink, pitch, pool, diamond, and hardwood in the Big Ten. Thanks for watching, and we will see you later.